And our word for today on this memorial of St. Bernard, Abbot and Doctor of the Church on this Tuesday, August the 20th, our word for today, our words for today, Eye of the Needle. Here to talk about it, Kendra Von Esh. Good morning, Kendra.
Good morning, gentlemen. Boy, I sure wish I lived by you guys with all those awesome events that are going on.
Yeah. Oh, we love our Diocese of Toledo. Always something fantastic happening.
Amazing, amazing. And you're making me envious of you and all those events over there. Okay, Eye of the Needle. By the way, I am in my closet talking into clothes. I'm hoping that it doesn't echo too much. There's no furniture in the house, last time. Okay, just had to give you a visual of what I'm doing.
Bouncing off the sweater there.
That was a well-painted picture.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay, well, now you're in
glad
my
you
world.
chose that room.
Eye of the Needle. Yeah, right? It's not a lot of room in here. Good thing I'm not claustrophobic. Okay, Eye of the Needle. I want to share, I heard one Catholic priest say that camel meant that it was a big, large rope, like a rope that they tied boats up to, again, to where they wouldn't go away. That was interesting, but I want to go with the tradition. Have you guys ever heard that?
No, I've never heard that about the big, large rope.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But I like the traditional one that we talk about with the Eye of the Needle. It's referring to a gate in the wall of Jerusalem. And during the day, there's a large gate that anybody can go through, including a camel. But at night, the larger gate was closed. And there was a smaller opening in the center of the gate that allowed people to pass. But guess what couldn't pass? A camel. And so it's referencing us. And let me just repeat the gospel. Again, I say to you, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for one who is rich to enter the kingdom of God. When the disciples heard this, they were greatly astonished and said, "Who then can be saved?" Jesus looked at them and said, "For men this is impossible, but for God all things are possible." So technically, a camel can go through that smaller opening if it gets on his knees and gets the load taken off of his back and then crawls through the little opening. And that is pretty much talking to us. And I don't care if you're poor or if you're rich, because you can be poor and desire riches, to desire all of the worldly things, and you can be rich and be detached from money and all of the things that you have. So that's really challenging all of us to look at our lives and see how attached or detached we are to the worldly things and all of the materialism that we have. And that was me. Before God pulled me out of the pits of hell in 2013, I was an executive in corporate America, and I couldn't get enough. I was never satisfied. And my husband and I just kept spending money, and I was the breadwinner, spending more money, more money. Oh, we have one house, we need a lake house. We need a boat, we need, wave runners. And I was never satisfied. I was truly detached to the things of the world. And then when I left my executive career to turn and go into ministry, we all know Catholic ministry doesn't pay a whole lot, right? So I am sitting there with, almost, my husband said to me, "You know what? You wouldn't even make it in poverty. You don't even make enough that the poverty level is." But I was detached. I was totally satisfied with what we had. We ended up selling our lake home and all the toys. And my husband and I, because again, he said yes. He told me, yes, you can go do this. But at the same time, he said, I have a number in my head, and if we go below that, you got to go back to work, literally back in the world. And God provided for us through him and his job and what he was bringing in. So I think the big thing that we got to look at today is, are we attached to the things of the world? And the great thing is that Jesus looked at the apostles who said, hello, who then can be saved? He looked at them and said, for men, this is impossible, but for God, all things are possible. So we have to turn to God, ask for detachment, and then be humble, like the camel did, right? Get on your knees, take off all of the riches and the worldly things that you have, and crawl to God. And he will change your heart. He will give you that satisfaction, which, in my opinion, is so much better than all of the things that I had in my life.
I love that.
Gotta love it. Kendra, I have to say this. It's better to talk into the clothes than to talk to the clothes. But if you talk to the clothes, ask them if they make you happy. And then you get to decide whether you keep them or you get rid of them. I'm just saying.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that because I do have
Do
to
they
go through
bring
my
you
clothes.
joy?
I'd like to address my shoes. What are you doing on the wrong feet?